Hello, we are live. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Hi. Very, very happy to have you today. And allow me, because this 18 days Women's Challenge, everything will be in Cantonese. So allow me introduce you in Cantonese for a bit, yeah?
Yes.
好，大家好。咁咧 ，Susan Allan 咧，佢係我哋今次Strong Women Live Summit 嘅其中一位講師啦。咁佢咧係一個已經做咗22年㗎啦，都係一個人生導師嚟嘅。咁佢自己咧有一個叫做 Heartspace 嘅 register， 即係一個 trademark 咗㗎啦。咁咧佢係專係咧幫人哋佢開始嘅時候咧，係專係幫人哋離開一啲好難嘅處境，譬如離婚啊，或者係一啲好難嘅處境，因為佢自己都親身經歷過一啲非常之難度過嘅婚姻嘅時光啦。咁佢自己本身屋企都係一個非常之 successful 嘅女強人啦，都係一位事業型女性啦。咁所以咧今日咧好榮幸邀請到 Susan 咧嚟同我哋分享呢個 How to step out problematic relationship with us。咁即係話，如果我哋面對緊一個非常之難處理嘅感情關口嘅時候，當時即刻點樣處理咧？咁 Susan 今日會教我哋5+1個 step， so 6 steps today. So Susan, yes, I'm just saying. Today we're going to talk about how do we step out of a problematic relationship when things comes to very urgent. What do we do? So yeah, I will translate everything you say.
Thank you so much. So this process is called the 6-part conversation, and everyone can learn to do it.
而家Susan講呢個咧叫做咧6個溝通嘅要點，而係每個人都可以做到嘅。
Here are the 6 steps. The first
6點
is self-empathy, in which you self-soothe. You calm yourself down.
第一點咧，你咧第一時間咧，當你遇到個緊急嘅情況之下咧，你要即刻將自己咧放平，同埋要即刻放鬆，唔好揦緊，唔好掹緊，唔好咩，淨係將自己平靜落嚟啫。第一件事，將自己平靜落嚟。
The second is empathy, in which you calm the other person down. And think about it this way. If someone is calm, he or she can hear you. If they're not calm, they're listening to a voice in their head and stories, so they're not really present.
咁咧，第二點咧都係 empathy 咧。第一點就係 empathy，即係咧我哋要需要有呢個同理心。第一點我哋先要同理心去明白咗自己，將自己平靜落嚟。第二點咧都係要將呢個同理心去平靜翻對方，因為你諗下，如果我哋當時一激動或者對方激動，其實我哋咩都聽唔到對方講嘢，亦都聽唔到自己講嘅嘢。咁所以我哋一定要將有個同理心，將佢個心放翻平先。
The third step is called self-expression. Once you've calmed yourself down, part 1, once you've calmed the other person down, part 2, now, part 3, you can express what you're feeling and needing. And of course, you have to do it in a particularly effective and safe way.
第三點咧就係咧，我哋要將自己表達出嚟，但係記得 Susan 提我哋第一點同第二點必須要做到先平靜自己，然後再平靜別人。第三點係要將自己好清楚明確咁樣表達出嚟，即是話表達你自己當時嘅感受啦，表達你想講啲乜嘢，係表達清楚俾到對方聽。
Part 4 is reflection. Now, we can hope and pray that someone's going to listen to us and absorb what we say. And the truth is that about this 0% of people are able to hear everything we say and retain it. So part 4, would you be willing to let me know what you heard me say so I know if I was able to be clear?
So 第4點咧叫做 reflection 咧，即係差唔多係好似照鏡咁樣啦。你要問翻對方佢 究竟清唔清楚你講嘅嘢，佢清唔清楚能唔能夠 Susan 話到我哋可以期望你講咗一句説話，對方係完全可以吸收到，但係機會同零差唔多係冇機會，所以咧我哋透過語言咧問翻對方清唔清楚你當時講嘅嘢，因為如果佢講一次俾你聽係講得唔清楚，你可以再表達清楚俾佢聽，因為有時你講出去説話同佢聽入去咧係兩個層面嚟嘅，所以咧要令對方 reflection 講翻俾你聽，佢明唔明白你嘅感受，因為如果佢講錯咗，你就可以改正。
Part 5, where now you're clarifying. So thank you for letting me know that I wasn't able to be clear about, and then you repeat that part that that person hadn't heard, hadn't listened to, or hadn't remembered. And the important thing is you understand that you, the communicator, have the responsibility for getting your points across. It's not up to the listener.
第5點咧係非常之緊要啦，即係頭先講我哋 clarification， 即係要搞清楚當時佢明唔明白，因為如果係當時佢講翻出嚟嘅嘢，佢係唔明白咧，你要多謝佢俾一個機會你重新再講一次，因為咧我哋如果假設對方已經完全明白晒嘅時候咧，我哋唔再講落去咧，就變如果對方唔理解，我哋會將個責任俾咗對方，係對方嘅 responsibility， 即係佢嘅責任，唔係呢個責任我哋作為 communicator， 即係你自己講出嚟嘅，我哋要 take 翻個 responsibility，take 翻個責任去再講一次 ，make sure 嗰個人知道你講緊啲乜嘢。
And part 6, finally, you get to solution. And a solution is created either by a request for the other person to do something, or for an offer that you're willing to do something. And then from that, the request or offer, you create a promise in which each of you has agreed on something.
Yes， 咁咧第6點咧就去到最重要啦，就係咧我哋差唔多好似一個談判技巧嘅程序咁樣啦。去到第6點咧，我哋要提出 solution， 即係解決辦法啦。咁解決辦法有邊兩個咧？兩個，一個咧就係提問啦，問佢 request， 你準備想點啊？我哋可唔可以譬如約個時間下個禮拜傾下？咁又或者你可以 offer 你自己，我下個禮拜得閒，我哋可唔可以下個禮拜坐低傾下？即係你可以問佢邊日得，或者你自己話你自己邊日得。咁呢兩個點加埋上嚟咧，就會出咗個 promise， 即係我哋大家 mutual 都係一個好 calm 嘅情況底下咧，係達成一個共識，然後去傾，就任何火爆場面都唔要有嘅。
Now, do we have time to go into more detail about any of these?
Yes, I think, well, these 6 steps is really almost like a negotiating skills, but really, when we cultivate a relationship, we require a lot of intelligence, and sometimes our mind has to be very clear. I believe when we write it down like a steps is really helpful. The more we practice, the more it's gonna be easy, right?
Yes. Now, the most important and the most difficult thing for most people is self-soothing. And self-soothing is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, 咁啊 Susan 又講到咧，佢話呢6點裏面咧，第1點其實係最難嘅 self-soothing， 即係將自己平靜落嚟係最難嘅啦。Why?
Because we don't have this habit. So the fastest skill I offer, and I offer 7 self-soothing skills.
咁咧，因為咧大部分人咧都唔習慣將自己平靜，即係唔習慣安慰自己啊。咁咧，Susan 咧就佢有一啲 steps 係可以幫助你咧快脆啲自己平靜落嚟嘅。
So you'll have the map of the 6-part conversation on my page, and you'll also have this tool called brain breathing, which I'm going to explain in a moment.
咁咧有一個表咧就係Susan 咧做咗一個表，就係呢6個 steps 嘅。咁咧另外咧就有一個brain breathing 啦，就係個腦如果 translate 即係用個腦嚟呼吸，腦部呼吸。Yes, brain breathing.
Thank you. And let's assume you're going to have a very challenging conversation sometime today with someone who's very important to you. That's what I'm demonstrating.
咁而家我哋咧就示範咧，我哋而家喺一個非常之麻煩嘅情景底下，嗰個人咧令到你咧好緊張，好唔知點嘅一個好 challenging、好具挑戰性嘅環境裏面嘅。當我哋而家咁樣示範出嚟。
So let's do this together.
Yes.
I'm taking a deep breath in through both nostrils.
第一步咧，係深呼吸，用個兩個鼻哥窿一齊唞入去，索啲氣入去。
I'm holding it for the count of 4.
忍住數4聲。
And now I'm expelling the breath through a very small mouth. I make my mouth small so when I let out the breath, there's a whoosh.
咁咧，然後我哋將嗰啲氣咧喺個口嗰度咁樣噴出嚟，即係好細個窿咁樣將佢噴出嚟。
Let's do it 4 times.
4 times 做4次，吸入去，忍住4聲，跟住呼出嚟，吸入去，忍住4聲。呼出嚟，吸入去，忍住4聲，呼出嚟。最後一組。
Very good. And this works because it's partly yoga. It partly brings you back into your body. It partly reoxygenates your brain.
Susan 話咧，呢一個方法 work 咧，係因為第一係一方面係一個瑜伽嘅訓練啦，第二咧係馬上幫你咧將嗰個唞氣咧帶翻落你個 body。即係帶翻落你個身嗰度啦。第三點咧係咧馬上將你嗰啲 oxygen 咧帶翻落個腦度，將啲氧氣帶翻落個腦嗰度。
Now let's spend a few moments on empathy, which is about this other person. And let us imagine it's your partner. And I'll just use the name John because that's common.Yes，
咁咧而家 Susan 就話咧，我哋會練習呢個 empathy， 即係用個同理心，就當呢一個人好猛整喺你面前嗰個人，你嗰個對象叫做 John， 我哋而家點樣練習一個同理心咧 ？John。
And I'm calming John down. That's the purpose of this.
要鎮靜阿 John， 阿 John 而家暴跳如雷，我哋要將佢鎮靜落嚟。
John, I can really hear that you feel frustrated because you wanted to go on a vacation this month, right?
佢話 John， 我明白你而家非常之how do you say frustrated？ 好攰，好費勁。我知道你而家好想去旅行。
And I know that a number of your friends are traveling and you hoped that we could go away at the same time. Yes?
咁咧，我亦都知道你有幾個朋友會去旅行啦。咁你就亦都好想同佢哋一齊去旅行。
And have I understood why you've been really troubled yesterday when we were talking about this? Question mark.
So 而家我想問你，係咪尋日你咁猛陣就係因為呢件事咧？
Now, let's imagine that is all that was going on with your partner, because we want to make this simple and a quick explanation.
就當而家呢一個情況就係你個 partner 嘅情況，我哋想做一個好簡單嘅解釋。
But to complete, I still need to say, John, is there anything else that you want me to know about this?
咁咧，你 最後都要補充一句，除咗呢件事之外，你仲有冇其他嘢都想話俾我知呢？
Now, because I've already calmed myself down, I'm able to say the following.
因為我頭先已經將自己平靜落嚟啦，所以而家我可以講到以下嗰啲嘢。
John, you're so precious to me. And when I read and watch the news, I'm so worried about you because I want you to be safe. I want to be safe myself. I want our children to be safe. And to me, staying home seems like the safest choice.
OK，Susan 就話。佢話 John，你要明白到，我哋第一步要稱讚咗佢先。我明白到咧，你係對於我嚟講喺我生命裏面係好珍貴嘅。我希望你可以安全，我都會安全，我個小朋友我哋都會一齊安全。所以我希望你喺屋企係會最安全嘅。我哋首先第一步用同理心，令到佢明白咗，我哋係關心佢先嘅。
Then I move into reflection. John, would you be willing to let me know what you heard me say so that I know if I was able to be clear?
咁咧，我哋就移去呢個 reflection 呢一步，第二步啦，就問佢 John，你有冇其他嘢想講？所以我可以再講得清楚啲。
And John says, you never want to do what I want to do, and you never let me do what's important to me.
Yes， 咁咧跟住咧，通常咧對方就會話咧，即係當阿 John 咧，你不嬲都唔俾我做嘅咧，乜嘢都唔俾我做嘅咧，我做親咩都唔啱，我乜都唔得嘅啦。咁佢就會咁樣，通常就會大聲講啦。
So you have to go back to part 2, empathy for John, because that's the secret to creating peaceful cooperative relationships.
跟住咧呢個情況底下咧，你要即刻嗱聲去翻第二步啦，即係頭先第一步講咗 calm 咗自己先啦，第二點咧就係要 calm 對方嘛。咁如果佢咁樣同你講嘢，即係佢根本都未 calm 啦，所以我哋又要翻去第二步嗰度先。
So John, I hear how frustrated you feel because you've been cooped up at home for a year and you're desperate to have some fun, right?
咁咧呢個時候你又可以用第二個方法，都係用體恤佢嘅方法，都係用同理心嘅方法。你可以話 John， 我明白你應該會好悶、好 frustrate， 因為你呢一年裡面邊度都冇去過，係咪？你要用體恤嘅方式。
And John says, yes, because you've heard him. You're not trying to change him or fix him. He relaxes, and now he's present with you for the first moment.
跟住咧 John 就開始平靜落嚟啦，因為你係唯一一次唔係咁話佢鬧佢，或者話佢做得唔啱，你係聽到佢講嘅嘢，你聽到佢講嘅嘢，佢亦都會覺得被體恤啦，所以佢就可以平靜落嚟啦。
Now you can move on to part 5, clarification.
咁而家可以就去 part 5啦，調咗去 part 5嗰度 clarification 啦。
John, it's really important to me that you understand it's because I love you so much, that your safety is so important to me. So sorry, go ahead.
咁而家咧 clarification 就係你要再講一次俾佢聽 ，John， 你要知道你喺我心目中係好珍貴嘅，我亦都係好愛你，你係對於我嚟講好重要嘅，所以咧你嘅人身安全對於我嚟講係好重要嘅。
So let's see what we can figure out together, if you're willing, that would meet your needs for fun and my needs for safety. And perhaps that would be you and me and the children going somewhere alone so that we're not exposed to anybody else who might not be completely healthy. How does that sound?
咁咧，然後你就話 John 或者我哋可以大家一齊坐低揾一個時間，有一個方法，你又可以去玩，我又可以玩，但係又唔使擔心住我哋嘅安危嘅，又唔需要擔心住小朋友嘅安危嘅。我哋3個人，我你或者同埋小朋友都可以一齊去到一個地方玩。咁咧，即係意思話我哋即刻就將嗰個頭先之前好激動嘅情況嘅場景咧，就去到慢慢可以打開個心扉嚟傾有咩方法啦。咁睇下佢願唔願意啦。
Now, I gave you a really simple example of a family wanting to have a vacation, but you use the same skills in the most complicated situations there are, and I'll identify them in a moment.
咁咧呢一種方法咧，其實喺好多緊急嘅情況底下咧，都係好用得着嘅。我頭先都同 Susan 傾過，我話其實咧你呢個方法咧都係我好多時處事待人嘅方法，但係冇你列得好清楚咁樣一點一點咁樣講出嚟嘅。咁咧就係喺你一個好緊急嘅情況底下咧，你絕對可以用呢種方法。
If there are challenges with intimacy and sex,
如果咧睇對於即管喺床上面啦，即係點講咧 sex 即係 intimacy 啦嚇，即係兩夫妻親密 yes 親密嘅情況底下咧，都可以應用嘅。
money,
錢啦，為咗金錢糾紛啦。
children,
小朋友啦，哇！呢啲全部都係最棘手嗰啲點啦，係啦。Children,
your family, his family,
兩個家庭嘅問題啦，我個家庭嘅問題，你嘅家庭問題，一撈埋又有一個問題啦。
career decisions,
事業啦，即係決定要想做啲咩啊 ，career decision， 大家嘅事業決定點樣做邊份工，做邊樣嘢啦。
housing decisions,
買屋啦，住屋啦。
and for most people, monogamy is a big, big, big deal. And so this is brilliant in keeping your intimate relationship just between two of you.
最緊要咧係要 keep 住你哋兩個人之間嘅感情，先係最緊要，係兩個人之間嘅。
This always works once you learn it and practice it.
咁咧，Susan講到咧呢種方法咧係喺咩情況？即係頭先以上講嗰啲全部棘手嘢，屋企啊、家庭啊、置業啊、錢銀啊、床上關係啊，或者咩呢啲全部都 work 嘅，都係用呢一個7個技巧，同埋咧係要練習嗰個頭先好緊急情況嗰種呼吸方法啦。Wow, Susan, I just explained to my audience saying that actually I'm using this kind of habit myself without knowing their steps. But this is so good to have a very clear guidelines for people to follow and understand exactly why we have to do that. This is very, very helpful. Yes.
Because, we've all been in situations where we did not generate cooperation.
係啊，我哋時時咧都會有一啲情況出現咗，但係咧啲情況出現嘅時候咧，我哋時時都唔會諗可以點樣再同嗰個人合作咧，可以點樣合作去揾出一個答案嘅。Yeah.
And for thousands of years, women have not spoken up because they were afraid to. But now with this one set of skills, you can speak up and be heard and have cooperation.
Susan 就話到咧，1000年以來咧，女人咧把聲都係唔係好，即係唔係好俾人聽到，唔係咁俾人注重啊。但係用呢個方法咧，我哋可以令到我哋把聲，我哋想講嘅嘢好清楚咁樣俾對方知道。其實都有啲似我哋中式嘅一種中式溫柔啦咁樣。咁要令到自己俾人聽到，唔係下下靠鬧、靠大聲、靠惡嘅。咁咧 ，Susan 講呢種方法都係一種溫柔，用一種 empathy 體恤嘅態度去聽到個人講嘢，然後自己先講嘅。 Wow, thank you so much, Susan. It's really, really brilliant session. And every time I talk to you, I just feel like so much courage and confident.
Good. And you must have that. You deserve that. And so does everyone. Yes? We
Yes,
deserve to have that.
Thank you。咁 Susan 話到咧，我哋每個人都係值得擁有我哋嘅自信同埋我哋個自己內心想講嗰樣嘢 confident 嘅。咁咧all right, I think today's session is about it, and every of you, if you want to know more, again, this Women Empowerment Summit is to help women empower, make them even stronger, even more capable. So for those you have not registered for Strong Women Life Summit, I really encourage you to register with us. And Susan is going to tell a lot more in the summit and her own experience. There's so much topic. I'm sure we will learn a lot.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful seeing you today and seeing all of you.
Thank you so much, Susan. Yeah， 咁好咧，大家記得再講一次咧，就係咧，如果你哋仲未登記 Strong Women Summit Live 咧，你哋快啲去登記啦，因為咧，我哋每一個人咧，我哋呢度每一個講師咧，佢哋都有好多嘢可以同你哋分享，而且咧，你哋學咗都係可以終身受惠，好似而家咁樣，我哋講咗，我哋寫咗出嚟，已經又攞咗啲 tips 走啦，咁樣嗱聲去 practice 咯喎。如果真係有呢啲情況出現 ，OK， 拜拜。Thank you.